Today on Slinging Paint, it is time for the war in Christmas Village. Stay tuned. Hey, welcome back to part 2 of painting war in Christmas Village. So we've been working on a few pieces here and there. We've been working on Santa Claus, but now it's time to take a look at our snowmen. Alright. So I've gone ahead and I've kind of done a bit of a blue undertone with them, and I've done their shields and weapons in silver. Well, weapons and shields in silver. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually work on the snow, and we're going to take it from blue to a white with a blue undertone. Mostly dry brushing. So let's get to it. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab our Celestia Gray. Almost time for a new one. It's getting bubblegummy in here, but that's okay. Alright. So now what we're going to look for is we're going to look for our small dry brush. Yeah, Celestia Gray's going the way of the bubble gum here. We don't want that. The reason why I've decided to go with a little bit of Celestia Gray instead of just straight into the whites and stuff like that is because, I don't want them to be dirty. A little bit of dirty snow. So all we're going to do is we're just going to flick. Do a little bit of dry brush flicking on here. It's going to hit all the nice, all the nice details, and it's going to leave the blue underneath, which will look real good. At this point, since I don't have any of the other colors on, it doesn't matter exactly how messy we get. It's fine. It can be as messy and as crazy as we want, because we'll worry about doing all the touch-ups and stuff later. So how was everybody's Thanksgiving out there? How was everybody's Black Friday? Did you get anything good? I'll bet you did, didn't you? Did you crush anybody to get it? No, I'm kidding. You guys were all good and safe and whatever. I guess there was Cyber Monday too. So you stayed at home in your pajamas after Thanksgiving, after all the stuff that went on, visiting with your families, and all that good stuff. So again, we're just doing a dry brush to kind of bring down the blue, make it more gray. Because you kind of want that dirty snow look. But even dirty snow still has a bit of a blue undertone because, ice. Now this one here, since he's more of a, say, typical snowman, we're not actually going to do the Celestial Gray. We're going to move straight into the Ulthuy Gray. We're going to move straight into the next to the next layer, to the next color. We're not going to worry about base coats, because he's going to be a little bit cleaner of a snowman, so we want him to be more white than dirt. But it's going to be the same effect. It's going to be heavy dry brushes. But you'll see that there's going to be a big difference between the two. Yeah, it's going to look pretty good, I think, once we get the colors down. Snowman will be one of the easier and faster guys to paint up out of this set. You can leave as much blue as you'd like, or as little blue as you'd like. Snowman's coming up pretty good already. And I mean, he's your typical snowman. He's got the carrot nose and the corncob pipe, black stovetop hat. I mean, this could be Frosty. It's not the Frosty I remember. I don't remember Frosty having a big shield. Now we're going to go back to the dirty snowman, the one that has more of the gray colors in them. And we're going to take this, and we're going to take the all-three gray, the lighter gray again, though, the snowy. Now we're going to give them the flicks, flick. And I'm going to give him the dry brush. Yeah, he looks a bit dirtier and a bit rougher around the edges than the other snowman already, and I kind of like that. But I do like the fact that the blue is still in there too, and it just kind of gives you that little bit of depth. Well, he's not perfect, but for what he is, I think he's looking pretty good. And we said that we're going to be doing heavy dry brushes for these guys. It's going to cover up most of that blue, most of that gray, but that darker gray is going to give it that undertone. It's just going to make them look a little mucky. Honestly, I kind of like it. I mean, there are people out there that do amazing snow paint. I am not necessarily that person, but I try my best. But I mean, I keep saying in all the other videos, every miniature is individual. Every miniature is painted to how you want it. So even though he might not be exactly the way I want him, this is all a learning process, as much for you as it is for me. So there's tips and techniques that, maybe I don't know yet. that other people can pass on, and I can then pass on to you. There we go. So I still kind of got a bit of that blue undertone to him, but he's mostly white now, and he has kind of that gray, dingy color because that's just the kind of snowman he is. Just dirty. Back to the blue one. Give him more the cleaner gray. Yeah, just to make him look more like a traditional snowman. Make him look more like newly fallen white snow. Huh. See, he looks a little better, a little more clean, a little more white. This one's more like your Frosty. But although I have to admit I don't remember Frosty ever carrying a warhammer or a shield, but it's a new generation out here. Not everything is exactly the same in the North Pole these days. That's okay. Now, what have I got left for white? Oh, actually, my white is nearly bubblegummed. It just basically means that it's not nice and flowy, but it's just about perfect for dry brushing. So what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of go over the snowman, and not as heavy a dry brush, but it'll help us pick out the snowman, and it'll help give us just a little bit more details and add the white. Now we have a snowman. And of course they also have like they have scarves, and they have the axe handles and the arms and the shields. So those call for a brown, maybe a couple different shades of brown, because why not? There we go. I like how those two are turning out. Yeah. So now we're just gonna, we're gonna rinse in the brush. Make sure that we're getting as much of the paint out of it as we can before we go on and do the next thing. I'm only a couple of miniatures in, and I haven't actually finished the full set yet, but I can tell you right now that these guys are actually quite a joy to paint. They're actually really, really fun. They got a lot of detail on them. A lot of different things that you can do with them. I mean, I'm probably going to paint up the frosty type snowman in your more typical snowman fashion. So I'm going to give them the black hat, corncob pipe. Maybe a red scarf. I haven't quite decided yet. And a couple of different shades of brown for the handle of the warhammer and the back of the shield, and then of course for the twigs that make up his arms. They're going to be a different shade of brown. And then for the fella with the axe and the shield, well, we're just going to have to figure out the different browns and whatever. I'm also going to do black for their coal buttons, and you know, the coal mouths and eyes and all that kind of stuff. It'll be actually really cool. Santa Claus is coming along quite nicely. I've done some of his skin tone. Added an extra layer of added a couple of extra layers of coloring on the red. So, you know, he's coming along quite nice. Same with Krampus. The next guys that we have coming up are the reindeer, and apparently some of our watchers out there have told me that it's actually not a wise man, but it's actually Father Christmas. So I apologize out there. So thank you very much, watchers, for catching that up. So we have Father Christmas, Santa Claus, Krampus, a reindeer, and 2 snowmen. And right now, we're just kind of working our way through the snowmen and seeing what we can do with them. So, yeah, I kind of like the way he looks. I think he's pretty good just as is. Now it just comes down to, what do we want to color the details? So what color do we want to do the scarves? What kind of color do we want to do the hat? Stuff like that. You know, do we want to coordinate it? Do we want to make the scarf and the hat match? Like, do you want a red and red, or 2 different kinds of reds, or complementary? You want like a green toque or a green hat, red scarf, or vice versa? See, so many different things. You get to choose. And that's the best part about painting miniatures. And I said it once, I'll say it again, I'll keep saying it too. You get to choose on how you want your miniatures to look. And that is one of the best things about this hobby. I mean, you can go with predetermined colors, like, you know, say you really want, well, let's go to Warhammer 40,000 just for a second. I know it doesn't have anything to do with this set, but as an example, we'll go with Warhammer 40,000, or even Warhammer Age of Sigmar. They have different factions, like the Ultramarines for Warhammer 40,000, they're a blue. So if you want those guys, you will follow that paint scheme. But if you don't, sky's the limit. So what do you guys think? I mean, okay, we'll start with this fella right here. We'll start with the more traditional snowman, and you know, we'll paint his hat black, because you know, most stovetop hats are black. And we'll use our medium base brush, because it will cover the most distance in the shortest amount of time for the size of the miniature that we have anyway. Swipe, swipe. See, it's just almost done already. You know, we'll have to figure out what color we're going to do his hat, or not the hat, the flower on the hat, in the band of the hat. We'll go from there. And of course, whatever we mess up, if we get black paint somewhere where it's not supposed to be, or whatever. I can always go back and touch it up. Just like I got some paint on some black on the back of his head, but that's fine. We can touch it up, clean it up later. He's got a nice black top hat. And then we're going to go in with a finer brush so we can get under the brim. Otherwise it'll look funny because you know, to have the blue and the white, or clearly a black hat should be, so. There we go. Again, I got a little bit of black on his face, but it's nothing we can't fix. Nothing at all. Just take a little bit of determination, a little bit steady hand, a little bit of skill, and we'll get all cleaned up. So when we come back next time, we should have more of the figures all finished, and then we'll start moving, and we'll move on to Father Christmas, not a wise man, but Father Christmas, and the reindeer. So until then, paint safe, and we'll see you later.